Okay, blessings, you guys. Your girl coming back in with another one. And y'all see the topic. I don't think it'll be long. I'm glad it wasn't yesterday that I had to do a show because the internet was acting crazy. They owe me a whole day's worth of credit. Yes, they do. Talking about they don't know when. I know when. I'm sorry, guys, but your girl coming back in with another one. And this one is called When the Gaslighting. A little bit of projection in there too, maybe a lot. Okay, like when the gaslighting and the projection, I'll just throw it in there, backfires. Okay, and this topic all came because of a question. She was like, he had the nerve to tell me after I call him cheating that maybe I need a therapist trying to make like I'm crazy. Now, I won't go into a whole story, but I can relate to that. Seriously, I can. Because that's what they do. That's that projection part of it. But the gaslighting part of it is them trying to make you think that you're crazy and you're not seeing or knowing or figuring out what's going on with them because something ain't right. So they want you to keep focusing that magic trick in the background, to keep focusing on whatever they're throwing out there so they can do what they're doing. But it will make you crazy because gaslighting is a serious abuse. Okay? It really is. It's a serious abuse. And a lot of people don't think that they're playing with your mind. And once your mind is gone, everything else is gone, So I can relate to that. When I was just like, oh, this is what it is, you just wasted my time. I feel some type of way or whatever. And the narc have the nerve to tell me, well, maybe you should see somebody. They quick to give somebody some damn advice that they should take them damn selves. They quick to know the answer to everything, to things they should be doing for them damn selves, to try to make like they're so damn smart. So this narc, like, well, it's just you. Maybe you need to go see somebody or talk to a counselor or a therapist or get on prescriptions or whatever. And she took that advice, but she didn't need no prescription. She just went to see a therapist and, by herself because, some people talk about when the narcs try to suggest going to counseling together. Okay. Only to get you back, but only just to still be a narc. Let me do this. I'm sorry, guys. Only to try to get you back, but only to still be a narc and to waste your time. Because when you're with them, you're just wasting time. They're time wasters. You're just wasting your damn time. So, but they try to buy time, let's put it that way. And it's wasting. So she was like, all right, you think I need to go? I'm going to go. So she goes to a counselor. And she goes for a long period of time where he's still out there doing all the things that she accused him of doing that he was actually doing. But she's explaining this to the therapist. And the therapist was narc aware. Like, have you ever heard of a narcissist? And she's like, kinda, and I don't. And the same thing she thought I thought it was just some arrogant ass person that thought because they had a little bit more than you, or they look better than you, or they made more money than you, so they felt like they was entitled. That's what I thought it was. Like, before I knew what the narcissist thing was, I was just like, oh, you think you can just do whatever to people because you got that. But that's all they had. That's all they had. They had nothing else. That's all they had. And that was the reason why. And that is the reason why they want to be with you, because that one thing that they have that they think is like better than everything you have is just one thing. They hate you, and they found you because you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different, like, you had like multiple things about you. And even though they might, let's say they had a better job than you, but you had the talent, you had the gifts, you had the drive, the ambition. You had, doors open for you. You were a go-getter. You were likable. You were like a really friendly person. You were like closing deals without even money or whatever. So what you had was way more valuable than what they had. Even though they tried to make like what they had was better than your whole life, the whole you, okay? So she goes to the therapist, and the therapist is like, no, that's kind of what they are. And I gotta try not to laugh because it ain't funny. Because somebody had a definition of what they thought the narcissist was. And I was like, you're kind of right. You're kind of right. I mean, to like, you're really kind of right, but that's not really the definition. But you're kind of right. So that person was just like, I thought they was this. I'm like, no, ma'am, that's not. But you're kind of right. So back on. So she goes to the therapist, and the therapist like broke it down and told her all type of different characteristics of a narc, behaviors of a narc, your patterns of a narc, things that narc does, and all those things and whatever. And so as she started explaining more about why she was there, the therapist was like, check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark, flag, 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 red flag, check mark. Okay. And so she was like, okay, well, it's a good thing that you're here with me, because now we're not going to make this about them. We're going to make this about you. So as she kept going and going and going and going, see, I did it differently, you guys. I actually did it after the fact. She was doing this during the fact. I said this in another video, like, I am pretty glad that even though I knew, because like I told you guys before, I come from like a very spiritual family. So I knew that I was dealing with a demon, but I didn't know what a narcissist was. And I'm kind of glad that I knew that much of it, because if I would have discovered the whole thing while I was still there, that just would have been a whole nother thing for me. But God was on my side, and God was on her side. These dummies. These dummies, in more ways than one, they actually send you to God for the help. They send you to God. They send you back to God. And they're thinking they're being funny. Like, some of them will even be like, well, maybe you should go to church or whatever. And they're thinking that they're sending you off so they can go do what they're doing. But you never know that God might send that right angel, that right person to be your guidance through this whole narc thing or whatever, okay? Just like when she went to the therapist, because narc said maybe you need to go see a therapist because he gets her so bad, right? And even like the other part, when they're sending you to God, when you're done. When you're done with them, okay? So when you're done with them and you're getting your life back, like I say, the first thing you do, you run back to God. So while they're thinking they're being some type of smart, demonic Alec, while they think they're being so smart and buying time and whatever, they're actually telling you the right thing, but they're not going to do it for them damn selves. So she goes on and on to these therapy appointments and whatever, and now she discovers this narc thing. She figures everything out, which becomes her escape plan with the help of her therapist or whatever, okay? So she got with the therapist, got out of that relationship or whatever. Narc did all the things that that the therapist said he was gonna do, the hoovering and the sympathy and all that stuff that they do, whatever. But she stayed strong to her game, and she got her healing. So when the narc tried to hoover and play the sympathy thing and the crying or whatever, like I ain't never had the narc. Well, the last future narcs that I had, none of them never really cried. They would have never did that anyway. One of them almost, but he held them fat ass tears back. So she just moved on or whatever. So she was like, he was trying to, she told the doctor, like, yeah, he's doing that thing you call hoovering now. And now he's doing this thing. Now he's raging, and now he's saying, I'm only his, and if I try to get with somebody else, he gonna off him or off me, and all these threats or whatever. So the therapist also got her to get order of protection and everything. So the therapist was on point. To handle this narc the right way, So just like I say, when they think they're sending you off, they sending you right, okay? So he tried the sympathy thing or whatever. And that same sorrow that you feel for them when you first get with them, they come in with this sad ass story, boo hoo hoo, about whatever the last person that their line saying did, which they did, or their childhood traumas and all these things, and you feel sorry for them, and you're thinking like, okay, well, your childhood wasn't good and your last few relationships wasn't good, and I'm the person that can love you the way you need to, so you can have the love that you need, because nobody was good. But you're not knowing that this is a whole setup. I said this before. When you get with these creatures, you lose everything, including your sanity. We ain't gonna go into that one because I watched another video today. Like, I gotta do another video. I gotta do another video about what I mean when I say you lose everything. I have seen many stories where people would talk about how they lost everything. So why keep taking them back? Because you're gonna lose everything, and the only thing that's left to lose is your life. But let's stay on topic, okay? Because I was about to rant. Okay? That same sorrow that you feel with them when you get with them, like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to love you and I'm going to make up for all the things that people did to you so horrible and blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, they're just dragging you down and abusing you and giving you a glimpse of that abuse that they went through. They're putting you through that abuse that they went through from childhood and everything else. They're putting that abuse onto you to make themselves feel some type of better. They're evil. They're never going to get any better. And the sad thing, I watched the video today, is like, the sad thing about a narc is after this life, whether they believe it or not, the afterlife is going to be the worst thing they ever going to experience. And some of them just don't care. The devil's making them think that that's not true. And if you ever watched the movie Beetlejuice, just go watch the movie Beetlejuice with when they walk through the lost souls. Because sometimes I do feel like God allows loved ones that made it over, that's going to get to the promised land, to watch over you. And sometimes the babies or you or animal, the Most High allowed them to try to communicate with you. And, but narcs will never get that. They're just going to keep listening to the dark side. So even after you get healed, you still feel sorry for them. That sorry that you felt for them in the beginning, this sorry is a whole different type of sorrow. This is a whole different type of sorrow, because now that your eyes are wide open, like I said, once God opened your eyes, you can never unsee it. So now that you saw their past, their present, their future, and their end, because the Most High, he does what he do. When he opened your eyes, he's going to let you know exactly what you dealt with. You don't have to get no closure from the narcs. God going to give you that closure. When you're done and you're healing or you healed, God will show you, will tell you and let you see or hear everything that they did when you were with them. But you're not even mad about that. You feel even more sorry for them, because whether they want to believe it or not, God will show you, just like the devil showed them your light, God will show you their ending. And they know that too. They're frightened about that. They're frightened about that. I remember like one time telling a narc about a dream that God gave me, that if this narc didn't get itself together, this was going to happen. The narc was like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. They know. They know. So when the gaslighting backfires on their ass like a broken muffler, backfires on their ass, and you come out on top, that was nothing but God when it backfires on their ass. So she said, yeah, she went to therapy, listening to the narc, stayed a little bit longer, but she's so glad that she took that narc advice. Maybe that's You know what? Y'all getting this title, but I swear I'm about to change the title when I post it up on the other platforms. The new title is going to be When You Actually Takes the Narc's Advice. And then it backfired. Like, oh my goodness, y'all. I don't know what I'm going to do, but that's funny. when you actually take their advice and it backfires on their ass, thinking he's so damn smart and funny. But I'm glad that this one came up. I did have another one to do, but I thought this one would flow more easier for me just because it's late and I'm tired, and I'm still trying to, feel better. You guys you wouldn't even know how much pain I'm in right now. But you know what? God is good. God is good, and I thank him for everything. So with that being said, may you all sleep in slumber, and no nightmares or evil entities enter your dreams as you're sleeping and slumbering. And the Most High is protecting you with the angels, and Jesus is covering you with the blood, and your household with the blood, so you are protected and you can sleep well in peace. And only God downloads come into your dreams. Be blessed. I hope this one really helped. Be blessed.